and action. Hello folks, Ed B here, W4EMB with How Do I Get to the Park? Alright, here's Ed's tools. This is what Ed uses. Hopefully you can see my screen. Alright, of course, well, let me just click this. We're going to go to the POTA website, Parks on the Air website. Let me check, make sure, got any friends out there that I know activating. Alright, and so once we come here, we're going to come over here to the little hamburger. We're going to pick map. And we're going to look at all these yellow dots, and we've determined that, you know what, we're going to be in this area. And thanks to Don, KC0DWZ, for starting this conversation with me. He sent me an email and text messaging back and forth discussing local parks at my house. He wanted to go here to Dunbar Cave because it was just off the highway. But I told him there's a horrific noise there right now. It appeared about 2 years ago. I was in the middle of getting my kilo there, was going every day to that park. And then one day I went to that park, noise. The next, and it's just been a constant noise since then. Really makes it hard for a QRP 5-watt CW station. If you're doing FT8, okay, but if you're doing 5 watts QRP CW, tough. So I said, how about Port Royal? Anyway, so how do we navigate to Port Royal? What tools does Ed use to get there? All right, well, I've determined that this is the park I want to go to. However, I can see that, all right, the park is obviously split up into 2 pieces. You got some green on both sides of the river here. I see that there's some trail here. I see that there's some trail and road down here. All right, and so how do I know what's what? Well, I can pick on the park's website itself, and that takes us to something like this. All right, this is me clicking on the park's website to get here. All right, so here is the trailhead to the north, and it looks like the gravel parking lot. And then here's this area to the south. Looks like a parking lot here. All right, and some buildings. Now, I've been here before, so I happen to know that the picnic tables are just underneath these trees, and I happen to know that that brown building is a bathroom or a restroom. Well, if I haven't been here before, how do I know? Oh, and there's something new on the map too. Rivian waypoints. Rivion's electric vehicle. Well, let's grab this little man and stick him on the road, little person. Let's take a look. Yep, sure enough, look at that. Electric car charging station. Anybody that's ever operated QRP knows that that could be a problem. Also looks like we got some solar panel gate activators there too. All right, and then we do see back there picnic table up under those trees. So if you're not sure what the place looks like, you can always utilize the little person and drop them to get your street view, right? Okay, so let's say we're going to go ahead and make the determination we want to operate this parking lot to the north. We can also grab our little person, do the street view. What kind of amenities do we have or do we don't have? All right, well, we're looking at no picnic tables. It looks to be just a parking area, no bathroom. But what don't we have either is we don't have electric charging station or solar panels. I have activated this place right here before. Actually did a meetup with a person that I met on YouTube. Met him here in this place. He was from Kentucky, and we both met at this position right here. It's really neat to meet up with people. All right, so we've made a determination that this is where we're going to go. We're going to go to this gravel parking lot here. Well, how do we get there? Ed uses this. What 3 words? It's a website. You can go to it at home on your PC or laptop. But the cool thing is What 3 Words also has an app for your phone. So how does it work? Well, we can come right here to this place. We determined where we want to go. We want to go to this parking lot. So we're going to look at the highway, and we're going to look at where the highway meets the parking lot, the entrance. And I just click a grid square. If you notice up here, these 3 words, what 3 words? It says homework, keyboard, telescope when I click that square. But notice the words change every square you click. So that's what 3 words does. It assigns 3 words to every grid square on the map. And then you can use those 3 words, write them down, enter them into your app, and hit navigate. and it will take you right to that grid square. And you can see how small these grid squares are. So it's a very, very accurate way to navigate to an unknown point that you've never been to before. Now for me, with the What 3 Words app on my phone, when I plug into my vehicle, when you tell What 3 Words, hey, take me to homework keyboard telescope, and notice there's a period between each 3 words. You use the app, type in the 3 words where you want to go. It's going to say, oh, that looks to be in the area of Adams, Tennessee. Yes, that's it. Go. And it's going to say, oh, how do you want to go there? Google Maps or Waze? Use Waze. And then it's going to put Waze on my screen in my vehicle and give me my turn-by-turn directions straight through my navigation system of my vehicle. So anyway, a quick video just to share with you, how do I get to a place I've never been to before? I utilize Google Earth. I'll utilize What 3 Words, the POTA website itself to find park boundaries, to know where I can go, and then I'll start zooming in on What 3 Words, find the grid that I want to go, put the grid in my phone, and it will take me right there. All right, I hope that helps you get to where you want to go. And thanks to Don, KC0DWZ, for contacting me via email and text message and having a discussion with me about the parks in my area. One thing I'd like to cover before we go, I'm starting to get the parts in for my antenna build, right? So I've got my magnet wire. I've got my 143/43 toroid. I've got the wire winder that I ordered off Etsy. And I ordered this off of Etsy because it had the BNC connector already in it. Now, I do need to tighten it, right? Need to tighten a bit. All right, so I need to tighten that down. But it's cool because it has that in there. It is quite a bit smaller than the wire winder I'm used to. So I'm curious as how 70 feet of wire is going to wrap around that. But if anything, I can do 30 feet on one side, 30 on the other, and that's okay. That's fine. I would kind of like to have this smaller package anyway. So I have my capacitor, my toroid, my wire winder, and roll of wire. Now this wire I probably won't use because this is 18 gauge. I'm probably going to go ahead and use 26 gauge or 28 gauge, probably 26 or 28 gauge when I go to wind this. What's really nice is when I bring the wire in, it has these holes, so I can go in the hole, through the hole, in the hole, through the hole, and that will act as strain relief when I attach the wire to the part of the thing that I need to attach it to. All right. Anyway, so I got my parts in. So the how to make this antenna is coming through, the video is going to be coming soon. Also, KM3STU. I'm at an eye appointment today. If you can't tell, my eyes are all dilated. And the bing bing you hear on my phone there, it's my little texting group that I have sending messages. That Stuart goes and he gets the UAE, Dubai. He got Dubai. And he got it on an end-fed half-wave that we made for Stuart in this same configuration, the exact same thing, a toroid, magnet wire, and 70 feet of wire stretched up at his house. Now the one he has, we beefed it up because I wasn't sure if he's going to be using it for QRP portable. We put it in an electrical box, used a 243/43 toroid, and used heavier magnet wire, and used this heavier capacitor, but built the exact same thing so he could stretch it up at home. And I'm just so stoked that it's working, that it's worked, and he's able to get these QSOs. That's awesome. I'm so I get pumped up when I hear that we've made an antenna together and it's working for me. He's making really great contacts with it. All right, last thing, if you've waited to the end of this video, I'd like to thank you to my coffee supporters of my channel. Without you, of course, my mobile camera, my wireless mics, and my giveaways are possible. So thank you for supporting the channel that way. And anyway, wanted to share with you how I navigate and get to the park. You notice we've covered a little bit of navigation things. We covered in a video how to find north without a compass, right? Because like I say, when I'm here in Middle Tennessee, I need to orient my wire of my end-fed half-wave north and south so that I get east and west propagation off of that. And now, speaking of that, we go back and we look at this map, and we did a street view in there, and we saw that there's a fence around this place. So that kind of tells me that I need to run my wire this way, right? So maybe I need to park my vehicle over here in this bottom left corner, and maybe up in this top corner, put my mast and run my in-fed half wave so that it goes north and south, so I can get that east and west propagation. So another usage of your map. All right, well, I've rambled on way too long. I appreciate you staying this long if you've stayed all the way to the end. And we'll catch you on the next one. I'm Ed, W4EMB 72. If you're QRP like you should be.